Namaste and a very happy World Youth Skills Day to everyone, excellencies, distinguished co panelists, and fellow young people who are listening to us today. My answer to this question really stems from my own experience as a teacher turned entrepreneur. When I was 16 years old, I started teaching in low income classrooms across India and quickly realized that there was a big difference between me teaching and children actually learning. And my students who lived on a household income of less than $2 a day came from such adversity that they were just not regulated enough to learn in the classroom. And in this journey, unfortunately, I also lost two of my students. One was to community violence, and another one was to a disease that I had recovered from when I was a child. And beyond how I felt about this, I saw how this adversely affected and how traumatic this was as an experience for the rest of my 48 students in the classroom, their parents, and the larger community. And I realized that in India alone, there are over 300 million children, adolescents, and young people who lack the essential skills to effectively learn, even if they are enrolled in a classroom. And to solve this challenge, I co-founded Labhya with my co-founders Vedant and Malika, um, in which is an India-based education nonprofit where we partner with local state governments to institutionalize social emotional learning programs at scale in public schools. And so today we support some of the largest in-school well-being programs for children and young people globally, impacting 2.4 million children across 22,000 schools in three Indian states every day. So, how is this impacting young people and children? There is enough empirical evidence that shows that every dollar invested in children and young people's well being and social emotional skills yields a return of $11 in the form of health, education, and employment outcomes. There are numerous studies by my alma mater, Harvard University, and University of Pennsylvania, that have demonstrated the impact of social emotional learning programs on young people's capability to be able to cope with poverty induced challenges, build resilience, relationship building skills, and motivation to learn. And yet, young people and children's well being continues to be grossly under researched and underfunded as an area. And so, through my organization, Labhya, in partnership with MIT based Global Research Center, JPAL, we are conducting the world's largest randomized control trial on children and young people's well being and learning. And this will be a landmark study that will make a rigorous connection between skills, learning, and well being for vulnerable young people and children. And so, in this background, my advice to decision makers, philanthropists, corporations, institutions, educators, and policymakers today is to not look away and start taking action. We have enough inspirational people on the panel today who are doing the work. Young people's well being and learning is not a far fetched, unattainable goal. There are evidence based practices that can be scaled globally and sustainably to impact more than a billion young people and children who today are vulnerable and unsure about their future. All we need to do is to deeply listen to us young people, support our action, and fund our well being and learning. We are already leading the way to ensure that all young people become effective learners. I, for one, am not stopping till I impact 30 million children and young people by 2030. And so, this is an invitation for all of us listening to join a global movement for youth well being and learning. The time is now. Thank you.